Hello, hi, myself Dr. Shashank, consultant physician, Pratima Hospital, Kachiguda. On the eve of World Diabetes Day on November 14th, let us discuss about diabetes. Broadly, diabetes is of two types, type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. There are also subclasses like gestational diabetes, MODY, LADA, etc. But mainly diabetes is of two types, type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is due to antibodies to insulin which is secreted in the pancreas. So insulin is not secreted properly in the body. So treatment of choice is only giving external insulin. So others is type 2 diabetes which is due to insulin resistance. Now, insulin is secreted normally in the body but it is not properly utilized. So there is relative insulin deficiency. In this, or whatever glucose we take in the body in the form of carbohydrates, that is not properly utilized. So treatment of type 2 diabetes includes either drugs or, if it is uncontrolled, insulin. For any type of diabetes, these three initial measures like lifestyle modification, like regular walking, regular exercise should be done, and dietary modifications. You should eat proper diabetic diet so that whatever insulin requirement or whatever the sugar consumption gets reduced. Now let us discuss symptoms of diabetes mellitus. What are the symptoms we get usually? People may have weight loss, fatigability, weakness, generalized weakness. They may have increased thirst, polydipsia, increased frequency of urination, more in the night, polyuria. So if you have such symptoms, definitely you should be screened for diabetes mellitus. If your family history is there, if your mother or father is having diabetes mellitus and if aged about 30 years, 35 years, you should definitely screen for diabetes mellitus. These symptoms are alarming. Some people may have incidentally detected to have diabetes mellitus. For some other reasons, you may get admitted and you will be having diabetes mellitus. So if you are having diabetes mellitus, you should do these three proper tests. One is fasting blood sugar, one is post-lunch blood sugar, that is after 2 hours after the meals, and HbA1c. HbA1c is the average sugar control over last 3 months. So whatever the food you take, sweets or chocolates you eat or any carbohydrate meal you eat, your sugars get automatically increased. But HbA1c is the average 3 months predictor of your glycemic control. So it do not vary based on your diet immediately. It is average sugar control over last 3-4 months. What does happen if your sugars are not in under control? If your sugars are not in under control, there may be long-term complications like macrovascular complications and microvascular complications. In macrovascular complications, you may get heart attacks, that is coronary artery disease. You may get paralysis and brain strokes. You may get peripheral artery disease. Microvascular complications includes diabetic retinopathy, means retina in the eyes will be affected with so that your vision may be get impaired. And second thing is kidneys. Kidneys are affected, leading to chronic kidney disease and may land up in dialysis or renal transplant. Third is peripheral neuropathy. The nerves over the limbs and upper limbs and lower limbs will be affected, causing tingling, numbness, pain, paresthesias. You'll be feeling like you are walking on the cotton wool, and you may feel that your cheppals are loosened without your consciousness. These symptoms are due to peripheral neuropathy. So there is a definite reason that you should keep your sugars under control. Sometimes, in addition to these long-term complications, if your sugars are not under control, suddenly if your sugars go up in your body, it may lead up to diabetic ketoacidosis. There is acid accumulation in the body and uncontrolled sugars, which people land up with multiple episodes of vomiting and stomach pain. So to prevent all these acute and chronic complications, you have to keep sugars under tight control. and maintain HbA1c less than 7 to 7.5. Thank you.